All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to JHouze Radio, episode 40. Uh, we're here, guys, on YouTube right now. For anybody who's listening to the audio version of this, you can watch the podcast live on youtube.com/ the JHouze. That's house with a Z, not with an S. How's it going, Los? Happy Thursday. How was your week?
It's good. Oh, by the way, I have something to add about the Z.
Wait, you have something to add about the what?
The Z.
The Z? What's the
Yeah,
Z?
you said we're with the Z, not an S.
Okay, what is it?
Last in the alphabet, but first in your hearts.
Oh, I like that. I like that. With a Z, not an
Yeah.
S. Last in the alphabet, but first in your hearts. We need to make sure we add that to our little like intro
Make a
whenever I
special
say it.
Valentine's Day shirt for that.
Oh, there we go. Merch idea, chat. Merch
There you
idea
go.
for next Valentine's Day. Limited edition. Um, but yeah, how's it going, man? I see you got your new camera there. Looking sharp.
Yeah, I got sick and tired of setting up the laptop to
Yeah.
do everything, and then I was like jumping. I was like on the laptop here. Excuse me. I was on. The laptop is in front of me, so to use the desktop, I was over here, and then every time I would talk on the excuse me, I would look at a page on the desktop. It looked like Stevie Wonder, just like
Yeah, you
so. I
did
was like,
look.
let me get a camera,
You
you
really
know?
did. You really did. But it was cool though.
Yeah, I was like, I just said, and I just want to find. Yeah,
Oh man, nah,
I
but it
love
looks
Stevie
good though.
music,
It looks good. It definitely looks good. It looks sharp. It looks clean. So camera looks good, man.
thank you, thank you.
Other than that, same here. I am just chilling, man. Long week, long work week. A lot of news came out of gaming this week. A lot of news came out of Apple this week, as we're gonna be talking about the Apple event tonight.
Oh,
So,
so much good news came out of Apple.
dude, I felt so lost because I didn't find out about the Apple event until the day of. Like, and then when I told you, he was like, "Oh yeah, it came out last week. They they announced it last week." And I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell I missed that one." But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about some of that. All right, so we're gonna skip through the PWLs today because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. But I do want to bring up we are doing a Q&A ordeal that we're gonna try out. So for anybody who's on Twitter, I'm gonna figure out a way to how to do it on Instagram. But if you're on Twitter, just type hashtag JHousePod, that's POD as in dog. Just type a question about anything gaming related, film related, anything of pop culture related, anything like that. And we'll try our best to answer it on the show while we're live, basically. Our first Q&A that we got today was from someone named Sarah on Twitter. She asked, I guess she asked a music related question. Do you think DMX died from an overdose, or do you think it was from COVID and they just covered it up as an overdose?
Uh,
And
I personally think it was an overdose. He's had history of substance abuse. He's
okay,
had a history of recovering and falling off. And the thing is, if you've been sober for a very, very long time, and then you start using again, you still think you can use the amount that you used to use before, and you
yeah.
can't because you don't have a tolerance anymore. I think it was a complete accident.
Oh wow. Okay.
But that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too, that it probably could have just been because of the overdose. I feel like if it was from COVID, I feel like they would have just said it. I mean, I get why she probably think that they probably wouldn't have because the government is probably trying to get everybody comfortable with all the vaccines that we're getting, and they don't want them to think that a lot of people are still dying from COVID, which I don't know. Have you really heard about any deaths tolls going up from COVID
Um,
lately?
right now, the United States is the most vaccinated country for vaccines, percentage wise, which
Okay.
is awesome, which is great. Biden like literally executed that and did that perfectly. COVID deaths are kind of going on a wave
Okay.
because some of the variants are starting to come into the country, and some of the variants are causing deaths. And a lot of the COVID deaths are happening in these red states where they're like, "Oh, I don't. This is all fake," and blah 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 blah. And a lot of it's happening there. Well, the majority of the larger percentage wise, it's happening there, but it's still happening in blue states too. Um, but I really kind of feel like there's going to be another wave coming because Europe, the numbers have gone up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly, man. Possibly. I
And
mean,
now the weird thing is most countries banned us from visiting them, but now we're starting to ban certain countries from coming in because of the how big COVID is. And I just had a coworker. She went to Ecuador for vacation.
Yeah.
She never came back. She died of COVID over there.
Oh wow, are you serious? I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's crazy. I mean, maybe honestly, maybe that's best. Honestly, I think it's best, especially if we know that we have a lot more people getting vaccinated, and if we want to keep this thing under control. I mean, if we gotta limit people from coming in, then like we gotta do what we gotta do. I mean, we all want to get back to normal. Everybody's itching to like go back to the movie theaters or go back to gatherings. So we gotta do what we gotta do. If we got to ban, we got to ban, chat. You know. Um, so yeah, that's one of our Q&A questions. So like I said, if you guys want to submit a Q&A question, we'll answer it on the show. Just go to hashtag, type your question in hashtag JHousePod, and we'll answer it live on the air for you guys.
All right. What was the question again?
Oh, she was asking about DMX. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fern just texted me. Do you remember the song "The Humpty Dance"?
Do the Humpty Dance. Yeah.
Yeah, he just died.
Mr. Humpty.
Yes. Shock G is found dead in a hotel room with no trauma, and so they're waiting for an autopsy.
Oh man, that's insane. It's crazy. Like, there's a lot of, especially rappers, that are passing away this year. Like almost like back to back. We had Humpty, we had DMX. Who else? What's the guy? What's his name? Who did Whoa? You know what I'm talking about? The rapper. Something like Whoa. What is his name? Damn, I can't think of his name. Chat. If anybody knows his name, just tell me. Um, yeah, I really feel bad that I don't know his name right now. But either way, there's a lot of rappers who are like passing away recently. It's actually kind of insane. It's kind of insane right now.
But you know what? A lot of them are. It's kind of like, at a certain point, at a certain age, you just kind of have to say to yourself, I'm not 22. I really can't be doing the stupid shit I was doing back then.
Yeah,
I know we
exactly.
all feel immortal, but come on, we're not.
Yeah, pretty much, man. So it's I don't know. It's definitely scary. It's definitely scary how so many rappers, and just not just rappers, but just so many people just dying from all these crazy causes. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like how it was last year, where we just felt like everybody was just going left and right. The same thing is happening this year.
Yeah.
So, all right. So another thing I wanted to jump into is we have a poll right now going on social media and on our Discord channel, which is in a link below if you guys want to join our Discord. For our next best of episode that we're going to do. We did a best action film of all time last year, which was pretty great. And we did the best rom-com of all time. And we had a lot of fun doing it. Some of the community seemed to enjoy it. So right now, the winner that's so far, the topic that's leading is the best film that was based off of a game is so far leading right now. So I'm gonna leave the poll up for a little longer. Like I said, it's in our Discord and in the link below. You can check it out, and it's also on our social medias. You guys can check that out, which is in the link below as well. In our
that's kind of tough because I can think of two off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and they're both very different.
Yeah, I mean, there's, if you really think about it, like a lot of video game movies date back to like the 90s, which surprisingly there was actually a few that came out during that time. There was Tekken, there was Street Fighter, there was Mortal Kombat 2. There's a few that there's a lot coming out now. Sonic. So I'm debating, like, should we do like the best of all time, or should we just kind of like rank it from like A, B, and C tier? If that category wins, because our other two categories are the best Kevin Smith film,
Okay.
or we can kind of rank those as well, and then the other one is the best TV show from the 90s, or we can just rank those.
Ooh, best TV show from the 90s is gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one. That's gonna be a really, if that one wins, that one only has like one vote right now. So far, best
You know
game
what's gonna
film.
probably win best TV show of the 90s because people still love it so much?
What?
Is Friends.
If I feel like I couldn't even do that. You're right, because Friends is literally my favorite TV show of all time. Period, hands down. Yes.
Not mine.
Of all time. That is the only show I watch probably a million times, and I never get tired of it. The only show next to Fresh Prince, because I like Fresh Prince too.
Oh, I never like French press. Fresh Prince.
French Prince.
I almost said French press because I'm thinking of coffee.
I like French Press. Could you imagine like a spin-off, like spoof of the show, French Press of Bel Air or Seattle, because that's where coffee comes from. Um, so yeah, right now, like I said, gaming that a gaming franchise that's made into a film that's currently winning. So we'll keep you guys posted. I'm gonna try to keep that poll going at least until like next week, basically.
Okay. Well, if we do that one, I do have a couple, and one that's surprising. Like, I actually, the one is based off a board game.
Really, is it the one with Robin Williams,
Which one was Robin Williams?
Jumanji?
No, but the board game came out after the movie.
Yeah, true. So I guess we can't. Yeah, I guess we can't really
That
say
one
that.
doesn't count.
Yeah. That doesn't
You want
really
me to tell
count.
you?
What is it?
Clue.
I forgot about that. Holy crap! Yeah, I forgot. Clue has had multiple films over the years. Like, I think two from like back in the day, one which was fairly recent, kind of. I think. But yeah, I freaking forgot about Clue. So yeah, we can include board games as well because it's technically a game.
No, exactly. You said from a game.
Yeah. So,
I
but
mean,
do you think
you
we
could even
should?
include Battleship in that fucking crappy movie.
I'm surprised we got a movie for that. Like when I saw like, oh, we're making a Battleship movie, and I'm like, what is that gonna be about though? Because it's literally the game, the board game was nothing like the film. Like they were like two different things. I was like, you might as well have just called this something else.
Yeah.
Like like Independence Day, the spin-off film or something. I don't know.
Independent Battleship.
Independent Battleship, yeah. So that was just pretty weird. So yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys posted. Basically, do you have a random fact, Los, this week, or is it to our
Yes, I
random
do.
facts?
The new car smell is a scent of dozens of chemicals. They're VOCs, volatile organic compounds. If you do woodworking, like all the stains and stuff, they say no VOCs because you can actually pass out from inhaling too much of it. So the new car smell is a combination of 50 plus chemicals that are VOCs.
So you can pass out from smelling your car too much, guys.
Like all those chemicals were really concentrated.
Yeah.
And you would pass out. Yeah. And
Wow.
possibly get brain damage.
Interesting. That is really freaking interesting.
And the sad part is we all love the new car smell.
Yes, we do. Honestly, one smell that I like, which is probably not healthy, the smell of gas when you go to the gas station. I don't know why. Like, I just love that smell.
You know what? Go to the track. If you go to a racetrack and you smell that everywhere and the racing fuel, you'd be like, oh, too much.
Really? Too much good smells.
Too much.
All right, I have a few random facts. They're really short, but they're interesting, and it's about coffee because we both love coffee.
And actually, I have a coffee news story.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Tell me your news story first.
I forget the name of the actual bean itself, but a very rare form of coffee that people thought were extinct was rediscovered in Africa, and it is weather resistant and bug resistant, and it actually supposedly tastes better. It's not quite a dark coffee and not quite a medium coffee, kind of in between.
Yeah.
And they're looking to reproduce it and repopulate it because it might be better for one, the environment, and two, for crop yields.
Wow. Interesting. An extinct coffee that is like weather resistant and bug resistant. Holy crap.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to call that the Terminator bean. I like that one.
I gotta find out the name of it.
So here, well, I got a few random coffee facts. Coffee is, and this is from facts.net. Coffee is the world's most valuable traded commodity next to petroleum.
It is?
Yeah. Apparently.
Wow.
Apparently. I can see that though. I can see that. Coffee is some pretty serious stuff to a lot of companies.
Yep.
Coffee beans are fruit pits, not beans. Technically, yeah. Technically.
Have you ever tried the coffee fruit itself?
I've never tried it. I've seen it plenty of times, but I've never tried it. It looks like a grape, right? Kind
No,
of.
it kind of looks like kind of in between a cherry and a grape with a really uh dark root.
Yeah.
Bro, super sweet, so much caffeine.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Bro,
it'll
you eat like
probably
two or
shoot
three
you
of
through the
these
roof.
berries and you're like, woo, gotta go.
Oh man. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine that that'll be insane. Um I would actually like to try that like one day. Just try like the actual fruit, but it'll probably freaking knock my ass out though.
You can actually buy them on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Chat, I might have
they're
to do
they're
that.
dehydrated, so they kind of look like a raisin,
Yeah.
and they're not as caffeinated, but they're actually really tasty.
Chat, I think I might do that for one of our future podcasts. I might try one of the coffee fruits on stream. Um Let me see another one. The taste of coffee is different from its scent due to your saliva diluting the flavor.
Yes.
Interesting. I can see that. Makes sense. Let me see. Is
The
there
other
another
thing
one?
is, if you realize that a lot of people don't actually like the taste of coffee by itself, they like the milk with the coffee, or the cream with the coffee, or the sugar
Yeah.
with the coffee, not coffee itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can go both ways. There are some days where I'm like, man,
Hey,
I
hey,
just
hey, careful how you
whoa,
say that.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Your mom was listening.
You guys know what I meant. I'm talking about coffee right here. um, I can have my coffee. That can still be taken. So I like coffee whether it's with cream or not. Okay, let's just say that.
Are you a sugar person?
I am not a sugar person. I don't know why. Like, and I know creamer pretty much has like sugar in it, but I'm not like a straight up sugar person or a Splenda. I just think it just tastes weird in coffee. It just doesn't taste right to me. I
A
don't know why.
Splenda's disgusting. It's
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hate Splenda. It is so disgusting, man. I can't do it. Let's get ready to jump into our news topics real quick. We got a few things I want to touch base in here. First thing I want to jump into, I'm gonna let you lead this off, Los. AOC is reintroducing the Green New Deal. Can you break that down for us real quick?
Yes. Okay. The Green New Deal is a bunch of guidelines that will help get the country into a more eco-friendly way of doing things. So, in other words, reducing carbon emissions, helping wind turbines, subsidies, excuse me, to help things like wind farms and solar farms being made, money to help public transportation to move from fossil fuels to um, um, to a more greener fuel supply, like electric buses and but it's only meant to be guidelines. There's no real strength behind it to enforce it. It's guidelines.
Yeah.
So it was a great idea then. It's a great idea now. Um, but the white supremacist, hold on, get you her name, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know who
Okay.
I'm talking about?
Negative, negative.
She wanted to make like a white supremacist, a white nationalist political party. And
What?
yeah, yeah. And like
Oh,
she's one of these nuts with guns and all this other stuff. And it's just kind of like, whoa, lady, back the fuck up. And she's like 150% Trump supporter and like all this other crazy nonsense. If you read up on her, you're like, this woman is fucking batshit crazy. And she's helping to run the government. So she was criticizing AOC and the Green New Deal, but she never read the 14 pages of what the Green New Deal was. And one of her staff members leaked that she never read it, but she was opposing it and fighting it and saying 1,000 different things against it. But she didn't even know what it was about. So it got leaked, and now she told AOC, well, I'm going to read it and see what happens. Woman, your job is to read that stuff. You help run the
yeah.
government. Do your job. And
I
she's
would.
also under investigation for possibly using election funds to pay off her personal debt.
Wow. Why is she in office? Like, what? I mean, well, not. I mean, why does she have a seat?
She got elected.
But she seems like she seems like Trump 2.0 almost. Honestly.
She is from that Trump branch tree. She fell off.
She fell off the Trump branch
She
tree.
fell off the Trump tree. And you know what? And like she tries to present herself, oh, like she was against gay rights and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So people put up gay flags and pride stickers like in front of her office and all this other stuff just to
Yeah.
mess with her.
I'm really glad that the new Green Deal is actually at least being talked about, at least being worked on, because it's something that can help save this planet. And to have somebody who's like has some sense of power fight it without really reading it, that I mean, that's like joining an argument, but you don't know what they're arguing about. So it's like, what are you even like? What are you doing?
But how
Why are
many
you
times
here?
have we like seen that happen?
Exactly. And you're supposed to be a politician, for crying out loud, and you didn't even read the thing you're arguing about. That makes
Yeah,
no sense. I don't get it.
it makes none. But these people think they know it all.
So if you're saying that it's not going to be enforced, is there really any point of even trying to fight for it?
Yes, there is. The reason why is because now you can literally tell. Like the one thing the Midwest has that no other region of the country has is wind. Very windy. So now if you create subsidies for these power companies to build wind farms, now they're going to get all this free money to build a wind farm, and they reap all the rewards for it. So now it costs them, let's say, a quarter or half of what it took to build it. So they reap their money, they get their money back sooner, and they get profits sooner. And all the people who are getting that supply, they're getting clean energy. And so for those reasons, it's good. And it helps set up guidelines to push automakers and people who are doing anything like with plastics and things like that to do a guideline, because now states can look at the Green New Deal and say, hey, that's a great idea. Now we're going to make this a law and enforce it. And now the federal government can go, hey, the Green New Deal gives us a foundation to enforce this and make this a law. We want to enforce this, make this a law, and let's move forward. So you got to take the first step of saying, hey, this is what this is about. Let's move forward. And then from that point, now you have responsible politicians who are going to take this and move us forward. Because what people don't seem to understand, we are 4 years away from irreversible climate change. To give you an idea how bad it is, if the world goes up 6 degrees, 6 degrees in global temperature, all the rainforests from Central and South America will go down. Central America will be hit the worst, and there will be no more rainforest. Think about that.
Wow, that's
No
crazy to actually
rainforest,
think about that. Yeah.
no rainforest. Now you have all the weather patterns changing, the rains changing. So you could have a place like France become a swamp, let's say for the sake of argument, or there's no tropical Gulf Stream. So now countries like England don't receive that warmth, and so now they're going to be stuck in almost not a mini ice age, but it's going to
Yeah.
be real intolerable to live there. And it's things like that people need to realize. All like it's like Jenga, you know. You pull the wrong piece, everything falls down. Well, we're playing with the last piece.
Yeah.
Playing with the piece we shouldn't be.
Wow, that's actually crazy to like think about that, man. That like in 4 years, if we don't do anything, that
Yeah,
it could be like almost irreversible. Like no matter what we do, it won't help it at all.
exactly.
That is insane. Lisa J in
Only a
chat says,
Thanos
"Wow."
snack can help us.
Lisa J in chat says, "Wow." Yeah, it's pretty insane. I feel the same way for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I have a question then. Why do you think that, let's say, people from the Trump administration or who support Trump, why are they fighting this? If we're telling them, hey, this is going to help our planet, why are they fighting against it? What are they seeing that we're not seeing that they think it's not a good idea?
It's three things. One, they don't understand the difference between weather and climate, because a politician actually brought a snowball into Congress and was like, "There's no global warming. Look, I still have a snowball." Well, that's weather. Weather isn't exactly climate change. Weather is the result of the climate.
Yeah.
So if the climate changes, you may no longer have a snowball. You may have an ice ball. Or you may not have any ball to play with.
Yeah.
One, they don't understand the difference between that. Two, because they are funded by large corporations, and the corporations just want to earn money. Bottom line is, companies aren't out for you. Companies are out for themselves, and they want money. So if it'll cost them $100 million more to produce something, they don't want to do it because they're losing $100 million in profit. But they're short sighted. They don't seem to realize spending that $100 million now will get them $500 million 3 to 4 years down the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
True.
and last but not least, the CEOs are greedy because if their companies make more of a profit, they get more of a bonus. There are some CEOs that can get up to a $25 million Christmas bonus if their company does good in that quarter alone.
Christmas one. Do you know what I can buy for Christmas for $25 million?
Dude, if I handed you $25 million right now and I said, Keith, here's $25 million, but you can never work a job again, would you have any problems with that?
Definitely not. I would milk that 25 million to the day I die.
And the best way to milk that 25 million is live like a normal person.
Yeah, honestly, it is. Like, and a lot of us say that we would, but I feel like I probably would. I mean, I might splurge a little bit here and there. I might get maybe a $40,000 car instead of a $15,000 car, or get like a 3 bedroom instead of a 2 bedroom. Little things like that, because it's like, you want to find ways to make that money work for you throughout all the years,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, they get money like that and they just buy the most expensive thing that they can possibly buy, and then their money is gone.
The problem is we were never taught fiscal responsibility. We were never taught how money works. We were never, but even in high school, like no one taught us how to open a bank account. You know what I'm trying to say? No one taught us how to write a check. No one told us how to pay a bill. No one explained to us how interest rates work on a credit card. No one explained to us how doubling your payment on a credit card can actually save you 65% on your interest. Like there's so many things like we were never taught that
Yeah.
we should have been taught when we were younger. So when
Yeah.
we come up as adults, we're not struggling for money, you know?
Yeah.
We could have lived our 20s saving as much money, investing in our 30s, and retiring in our 40s
Yeah.
if we were taught the right way to do things.
True indeed. True indeed. I feel like money management should have been something that was a class in like high school.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would have helped a lot of people at that age, to be honest with you. But
And the other thing is too is you have to understand like our parents um lived check to check, so they had no opportunity to learn how money works because
yeah,
to them as soon as it came in it came out. They're not thinking about oh I need to invest, oh I need to save. They're thinking about, man, I got to start saving in July to get my son or daughter a Christmas present. That's their focus in life.
yeah,
And,
okay,
and a lot of it, we need to teach ourselves to teach our kids so they can be the better off than we are, because as it stands right now, uh Gen Z and the millennials, they're in a worse financial position than Gen X was, and Gen X is in a less financial position than the baby boomers was, and it goes on and on and on. You
and
know,
especially with
because
the way the past 2 years have been.
yeah,
That's actually one thing I told myself I really want to invest more time into, and that's stocks. You know, I feel like nowadays, living in the society that we live in, it's almost imperative to have at least two forms of income. It's almost imperative, even if it's like you have like one 9 to 5 and then you make money on the side through stocks or something like that. I feel like it's almost imperative to have that nowadays, because with COVID and just everything happening in the world, you just don't know, you
yeah.
know?
We need to have multiple streams of revenue. The only time people really hear that is when they're with their favorite YouTuber. And they don't seem to understand that it's the YouTuber has their job. They have their YouTube channel that will be monetized. They have their let's see, if a woodworker, they sell woodworking plans, so someone could download the plans and buy that, so they could build something.
Yeah.
Their sponsorship, where you get a little bit of money for doing like all these streams and revenues help you earn a living, but they don't seem to understand to get all these other streams of revenue. It's more than a full time job.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like for me, I can do my woodworking. I can um, my DJing. I can video edit for other streams of revenue. But during COVID, no one's got money to spend.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, I'm so surprised that a lot of businesses are still hanging around. I mean, we got stimulus, a few stimulus checks over the past like year, so I mean that helped people stay up, and that helped a lot of people keep other businesses alive and things like that. So, but yeah, man, multiple forms of income. It seems like that's the way to go,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm definitely excited that the Green New Deal is the thing again. I'm hoping that we can make it real, make it substantial, make it mean something, and hopefully it'll help keep freaking Mother Nature alive, man. So,
I think it stands a real good chance of passing because the Democrats are in control and they want
yes.
this. And this is part of Biden's agenda. So Biden's going to push it.
Oh yeah, he'll make it happen. Like
Yeah.
I have good faith in him. I think he'll definitely make it happen for sure.
Yeah.
Um
Um, I don't want to be a downer, but do we want to talk about the court case?
um let's
Or
let's
do you want to
let's
save
dive
it
it.
for a show on itself?
No, we can touch base on it really quick. Like I mean, like we're kind of already on like politics right now, so we can touch base on it real quick. What's your thoughts on
Uh,
it? And
this,
FYI chat, I
this,
guess we're talking about the court case from Floyd, the Floyd
yes.
court case. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
This is my one statement to show how far we've moved forward in society. And we've taken some steps forward, but we still need to take more. In the Rodney King beating, all those cops walked away scot free, and now this guy didn't.
Yep.
That's all I got to say. So now, us people of color, we now can look at this and say, hey, we matter too. And this is proof that, you know, the court system worked in our favor, you know, to get rid of one bad cop.
Yeah.
I just think that's progress. I think that's great. But I think that cops need counseling after a certain number of years. They need to go to a PTSD counselor. They need to, we need to make sure their mental health is okay because someone who has PTSD isn't in their right mind when they're under a stressful situation. They are literally just going to go all out attack you as an animal. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that you have to look at their job and the stress they're under all the time. And to make sure that our community is safer, we have to make sure that there's uh, they're held more accountable. And how are they held more accountable? Well, you went through counseling. We know this is your problem. You can't lie to us. You're getting locked up. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about it. You know, your
Yeah.
dad's a cop. You know, and he's turned around, but he's told you stories,
Yeah.
and he gets like stressed out and excited and angry as he tells the stories. You know, I just kind of think that it's because if a cop fails those psyche valves, they should lose their job.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, very true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that video or when I saw the news that the cop was convicted, so it's probably bad to say, but I was surprised. And it's bad to say that I'm surprised. Like, why should I be surprised about somebody who literally killed somebody went to jail? I shouldn't be surprised about that.
No, you should be, and I'll tell you why. America is so. And now this isn't Americans. This isn't the people of America. I'm speaking about. I'm talking about historically, this country is so has racism so ingrained in it that when proper justice is served, we're surprised, and some people call it un-American. That's why you were
That is
surprised.
that is that is very freaking true. That is
Yeah,
very true. That's probably the best way to put it, honestly.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, like you and I could travel to Wyoming, could run into 55 white people, not have a problem,
Yeah.
and that's normal. Okay, but I'm just saying that Americans by themselves are generally good people, but America has a bad history. But it's turning around little by little.
Yeah. And that was definitely a good sign of that
Yeah.
it is turning around. So, all right, so let's jump into a lighter note. Start off with Discord and Microsoft. So,
Yes.
Microsoft, we know that Microsoft, tech company, was in talks with Discord to buy the Discord service, basically, and apparently the talks have ended. Discord has decided to they're gonna eventually go public, and I think when you go public, it takes like what 18 months to do that anyway, or something like that.
Yes.
So they decided to just go public, basically, and they turned down, I believe, don't quote me, I think they turned down $10 billion for
4 billion.
Microsoft.
4.7 billion.
4.7 billion. Los, would you have done that? If somebody said, "Hey, like, I'll buy Strong Bear Productions for 4 billion dollars," would you turn it
Um,
down?
Honestly, it really depends on the strength of the company. And Discord has now become part of the vernacular. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like, how many times do you watch YouTube and you hear, "Oh, my Discord server," or any social
yeah,
media, "My Discord server."
yeah.
Because of that, I think I would have made the same decision they did.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, initially Microsoft, from what I've a couple of articles I read, initially Discord was looking at 10, and they were willing to settle for 6. Microsoft wanted to lowball them for 4. Mind you, not that 4 billion is a fucking lowball,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly. Yeah, exactly,
but the
exactly.
thing is, Microsoft is looking to what do you call it? Microsoft is looking to get into the social media um, market, but they just don't know how to do it, and they figure they're going to just take take what someone else already made, and they figure they can continue it on that same course. But it doesn't quite work that way because
Yeah,
once you buy out a company, 9 out of 10 times the people who made it what it is leave. So you're not going to get the same progress and growth.
yeah. A lot of people felt like Microsoft was kind of taking the easy way out and kind of doing what they've done before, just buying something else that's already here and just saying, "Oh, well, look, we got this now," you know. And I don't know if that's the easy way out, but I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, some people are happy that they didn't take it because Microsoft has not had a lot of good history when they tried other random ventures that they didn't already have. Like, look what happened with Mixer.
Yeah, this is the cycle. It becomes popular. Microsoft buys it. They manage it. It ends.
Yeah,
And that's the cycle. Again, because they're a computer company, they don't understand social media. Just the way Apple isn't an entertainment company, and their Apple TV isn't taking off like they thought.
yeah. I mean, they do have some good shows on there, though. By the way, I gotta say,
They
they
do,
got
but again, Apple got too spoiled by iTunes when it initially came out, and everyone was going to them for music. It was the model; they could get more royalties out of these record companies, and now all that's changed, and they kind of wanted to copy that into the TV market, and the TV market has how many other streaming services? So,
yeah,
Apple right now is kind of learning what it takes to be an entertainment company, but they're only 6% of the streaming devices.
yeah. Very true. Very true. I mean, I'm just glad we still have our Discord. Like I said, I was a little worried about Microsoft buying it, but knowing that nothing's changing at the moment. I mean, something could change when they go public. We don't know. I mean, because right now Discord is like their business is a private business, and
Yes.
when they go public, that could change because now you got to work for the investors, basically. So I'm wondering how that's going to look in about a year, or two.
Yes and no, you work for the investors. When you have the initial offering for a company, what happens is whoever initially buys the stock doesn't expect to see a profit for 18 months. Generally, they get the stock for clout. One of the rare exceptions was Google. When Google went public, everyone bought it and people were earning money right away.
Mhm.
With Discord, it would take 18 months on average before people are seeing dividends come back, their investment grows, stock prices go up, and then it gets traded regularly. Initial public offerings, IPO, is a tricky game because sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it very wrong.
So, as somebody who's getting into stocks, would you say that buying stock in Discord right now is a good idea, knowing that they're going public soon?
Um, yes, but buying stocks don't pay if you buy them in. Okay, when you buy stocks, there's two ways to buy them: round lots, which is in groups of 100, or odd lots, any combination of less than 100. All right.
Okay.
So if you were to buy 1.5 lots, you're buying 250 shares, just so you understand terminology.
Okay.
If you have the money to buy a round lot, 100 shares, then there's where real money comes in. If you're buying less than that, you have a very, very, very small piece of the pie, and you have a very, very small chance of earning profit. what really makes it good for even a person who owns one stock
Mm-hmm.
is you get invited to the stockholders meeting and you get all this insider information.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So let's say you bought one stock in this, all right,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and their shareholders meeting is Thursday. You go in there Thursday, you know everything that's going on in the company.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're a shareholder. Doesn't matter if you own one, but as long as you're a shareholder, you can get all the inside information on the company.
Look at that chat. Los is like, I didn't know Los knew a lot about stocks right about now, man. Definitely gets pretty good information. All right, so I want to jump into our next news topic here. Shang Chi is finally coming to the MCU. Did you get a chance to check out the trailer, Los?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer a couple times. Initially, when I saw it, the first half, I was like, "Oh, they picked the heavyset guy as the hero. That's unique." And then later on in the trailer, you're like, "No, that was
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought he was a little chunky. I was like, oh wow, that's different. We're getting different races, different sizes of heroes, and it was like, nah, he's a little built dude. And I was like, oh okay, cool.
yeah, yeah."
Uh,
He's pretty stocky.
for anybody who doesn't know, Shang Chi is going to be our first Asian superhero in the MCU. Basically, the comics, don't quote me. I believe Shang Chi the comic started coming out around like what in the 80s, right? Was it the 80s or 70s?
76.
76.
Yeah.
Around that time, karate films were like big. I mean, they're still big, but during that time they were like super big. His character eventually died off, but before it did, he was doing a lot of work with Spider-Man in the comic. He did some work with the Avengers. Uh, Shang-Chi doesn't have any superpowers. Apparently, in one of the comics, though, he was known to be able to duplicate himself. Uh, I think that was like his only power in like one of the comics, basically. But other than that, he's pretty much just going to be the Bruce Lee of Marvel, basically.
That
Honestly,
is actually who he's based off of.
yeah, I think in even one of the comics, he had like a almost like a yellow jumpsuit in one of the comics. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, Marvel in the 70s didn't know better.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I like about this is that they're not trying to make him, they're not giving him a funny accent. He's not wearing like food uniform, you know,
yeah.
and things like that. He just, happens to be in this story that fits his culture, and that's kind of what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, I watched an interview with the main actor who plays Chang, and he was saying that basically they wanted he said basically what you said, that they didn't want things to be stereotypical. They wanted to do justice to the character. They wanted to do justice, to the Asian culture, and not just have everything seem so stereotypical. And I kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the trailer looks awesome. The choreography looks freaking amazing. It looks like we're getting more of a fantasy element from this. I mean, we kind of had that basically with some of the other films, but this one just it has like a different feel to it, man. It's such a different feel.
Well, the comic
Um,
book had a lot of Asian mysticism in it, you
yeah.
know, and Aquafina's in it. I love Aquafina.
Aquafina, who's that?
The girl who drives the bus,
Oh yeah, she was in Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, she was
and
hilarious in
she has
that.
her own TV show or had her own TV show.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Comedy Central.
She was kind of hilarious in Crazy Rich Asians. I liked it. I'm actually I was actually kind of surprised that we're getting that film this year. I kind of forgot about it for a second, especially since everything was just getting delayed and pushed back. I was surprised to find out that it was actually coming out this year, in September. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be a nice change of pace, especially for the Asian culture, to see
Well,
them
what
have a
happens in
superhero.
the Asian culture, also the Black community. So you got to understand, man. Like all these cheap theaters, in Harlem and all these other, they played so many kung fu movies that that's ingrained into Black culture is kung fu movies.
Yeah, very true.
And in Spanish Harlem was the same thing. So many Latinos are hooked on these Asian kung fu movies. So it's not just for Asians; it's
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
Latinos and Black people. Like we're right there watching those movies too. We're the ones who are screaming out, "Look, he's using Pakistan." Because we've
Yeah,
seen all
yeah.
those old movies. It's not just for them; it's for us too.
Yeah.
Obviously they're the highlight of it, but bottom line, it's a Marvel movie. It's for everybody.
Oh yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. So yeah, that's happening. Are
But
do
let
we
me ask you this question. When you saw Black Panther, did you think of it as a black movie or did you think of it just as a Marvel movie?
I saw it as a little bit of both. I saw it like I like the representation of the black culture in the film, the wardrobe design, the culture in the film. Like I loved seeing that in a Marvel film. Especially as people would say, as that has been kind of whitewashed for a while before that film came out. Um, but I also just saw it as just a great Marvel film, just told like just showing a story from a different part of the world that's not usually explored in the world of superheroes too often. Like we've had Blade, we've had a few other black superheroes, um, but having that story told from that side of the fence was great to see from Marvel, honestly. And I feel like this year, especially once we get the Eternals, we're gonna start seeing even more diversity in Marvel, and I think that's freaking amazing. We're getting, Chang, what is it, Chang Li, right? Yeah. And then once we get the Eternals, like that cast is so multicultural, it's insane. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and I'm loving that. I mean, and it's just great to see just different representation, different faces, different cultures being represented in the superhero world. And then I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Blade. I mean, Blade is one of my favorite Marvel characters, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. A lot of people are a little worried about the guy that's playing Blade, but I'm pretty sure
I'm
he'll do a good job.
so worried about that.
I'm worried about it, but Marvel picks him, man. Marvel picks the character so well. I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. When we heard he was going to be Iron Man, he was like, "Oh, the guy who's like getting drunk all the time and who's in rehab."
Yeah.
And then look what happened.
Exactly. Here's my take on the Black Panther movie. I viewed it as a Marvel movie first. I didn't look at it as a black movie, and for this one reason, because I think that I didn't want to add to all the people labeling Black Panther as a black movie. Because I think a lot of times when people label some movie a movie, an Asian movie, Spanish movie, you kind of diminish the value of the film. And really, the message was about being inspired. That we too have heroes. And I don't think that um, calling it outright a black movie, I think does it a disservice because first and foremost, we're talking about a great, and then he just happens to be black. And when we get into that mind frame and that mentality, we all as a culture move forward. So I wanted to be one of the people who thought of it like that. And mind you, I don't like Black Panther in the comic books, but in the movie, oh my god, I was excited about Black Panther too. And unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah. I think I thought about something. I was talking about it today that we're not really thinking about. Being that Chadwick Boseman passed away, may he rest in peace. Um, they're starting the filming of Black Panther 2 in Georgia already. Now, a lot of people are saying that his sister, and 9 times out of 10, this will probably happen, that his sister, Shuri, is going to be taken over as the lead character in Black Panther. I think that's going to be another big movement for a lot of people. I know you said you don't want to look at it. Some people probably shouldn't look at it as just only. There's nothing wrong with looking at it as a black film, but don't just look at it as only a black film. Because, like you said, yeah, you want to show some respect to it being just a great film in general, but that could be a good way to look at it as well. But now we're going to also start looking at it possibly being a black film led by a black female superhero, which is something
That
that we haven't
that
had
is
yet.
something that every culture needs to see a female superhero that represents the daughters and mothers of that culture because we don't see a lot of female superheroes. And when we do, 9 out of 10 times it's only a,
Yeah,
you know. So I think that sends a more powerful message to the women of any culture that it's from. Like when
yeah,
Miss Marvel comes out, she's Muslim, you know.
Yeah.
Not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
She's
Miss
Muslim.
Marvel,
She lives in
yeah.
Jersey City. One, a thumbs up for Jersey, and two, a Muslim character. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Um, I just kind of think that those are things that are great. But yeah, I agree with you. Like her being Black Panther would be a huge leap forward, and it would also change the dynamics of the film because she's such a funny character.
Yeah. True indeed.
I know people who develop crushes on her just because of her character. How
I
funny
mean, her character was pretty awesome, honestly. I feel like she was like almost like the heart and soul of that film,
Yeah.
honestly.
Although
Yeah.
originally Shuri was supposed to replace Tony Stark as the tech person, and now Falcon, the new Captain America, I think is so important for him to a black man being Captain America is so fucking important for
Yeah.
people to realize it's not just in the comic books; it can happen on screen. Um, that his suit is gonna be made out of vibranium too. So like
Yeah.
that's like, and what I like about that is it puts Wakanda um, in the forefront of they're the smart guys, they're the techs, they're the ones who know how to put stuff together. It's not just this one American.
Yeah.
It's
True.
another country can do it too.
I do kind of like the fact that Wakanda is now, like you said, being seen as like the forefront of the MCU at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
it's almost becoming the home base,
yeah,
honestly, of the MCU. Before it was the Avengers Tower, that's gone now. So it looks like Wakanda is going to be the home base for it. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are getting a lot of weapons and stuff like that from there. Um, Something happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier last episode. I don't want to spoil it, but something big is coming from Wakanda for the next episode that we don't know yet. So yeah, it's interesting, man. It's definitely interesting. I feel like we're going into this whole new level of Marvel, and I'm definitely pretty excited about it, honestly.
yeah.
Um, all right, let's talk some Apple, man. Let's get into the show
Yes,
notes.
the
Let's talk
reason why
some
we're
Apple.
here. Oh,
Yes. So Apple had their 2021 April event just a few days ago actually. The main things we got a look at was the AirTags. We got a new Mac desktop. The what else?
iMac.
The new iMac. Yeah, I always forget the name of the Mac desktop. I just always call it the Mac desktop. I keep forgetting to call it iMac because I actually never had one. We got the iMac back, and that's in different colors like back in the day.
Yes.
Um, we got a purple iPhone. We got
Okay.
yeah, I'm not getting that. That looks ugly. The big boy of the show for me was the iPad Pro
Oh God, yes.
XDR display in
Mm-hmm.
the what 11 point something inch model. Oh my
With
god.
the M1 processor, a
M1
desktop
processor.
processor in a tablet.
So let's start with the little thing and then work up to the big thing. So what do you think of the AirTags?
AirTags, they've been talking about it for 2 years. Apple's come out with it. Apple's come out with it, and every time there was a keynote or an Apple event, it didn't come out. And now it came out, and I'm like, great, it's out. I've heard about it for 2 years. I wasn't that excited about it.
Same.
Um,
Yeah.
but the thing that people don't seem to understand is Apple is not really doing it to push the AirTags. They're doing it to push the Find My app because you have other tag type, um, Apple tag type, what do you call it?
Like little tactile
Tiles.
devices. Yeah, tile devices. Yeah.
Tiles. I mean, Find My is compatible with, I think, six other tile companies. They don't
Hmm.
have the same features as Apple tags do, but Apple, I think, is trying to push the Find My app into so many other products that they don't make to sort of lure people to come more and more into the Apple environment. So more and more people will buy the phones, more
Yeah.
people will buy the tablets, and then
I didn't
eventually the
think about that.
desktops.
You're right. Wow, I didn't look at it that way. Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
a really good marketing deal right there. Like, hey, AirTags. Oh, you got to use our devices to use this. Like, that's pretty fucking smart.
My
Pretty smart.
only gripe is for a $30 tag, why is there a $450 accessory?
I know. You know what? It's so funny that you say that because Hermes is known to make a lot of accessories for Apple. Pretty much every device has a Hermes like thing for it. And when I heard that we were getting AirTags, I was like, I bet you any amount of money, we're gonna get something from Hermes that you put on it, whatever in it, that's gonna cost like $1,000. And just this little hook thing that you put the AirTag in, that's made by Hermes, is what, $500?
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna check the website. Yeah, I think it's like $500. That's
Here's the
ridiculous.
thing, like I can make one of those in my garage. It would take me a while because I don't have a sewing machine, but I can do all the leather stitching by hand and everything. In cost, as far as materials, maybe $25, depending on the leather. But it should be about between $10 and $25 for the leather, and like pennies for the thread. So I could sell those things for, let's say, $50 and make a profit.
So a one pack of AirTags is $26. A four pack is $90. Which I
Mm-hmm.
was I was actually really surprised at that price, because Apple overcharges for everything. So I thought an AirTag was going to be like 60, maybe even $70. Honestly, I
You're
was,
not the only one who thought that.
huh?
You're not the only one who thought that.
Yeah, I was really surprised that it was only $26. Honestly, so but yeah, I'm trying to. All right, so Hermes straps for your AirTag. The most expensive one is 300. No, actually, a lot. The most expensive one is $450
Yeah, for a luggage tag.
for a luggage tag. Who? I mean, granted, if you got money like that, I'm pretty sure somebody out there who has money like that is gonna spend that kind of money for an AirTag. But I
Dude,
I, I
here's the
just don't get it.
thing though, like give it 3 weeks and you can buy the same type of thing on Wish for like $30.
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hermes probably has a lot of quality leather and stitching and all that stuff. I'm not trying to discredit that company, but I just, for something like that, man, I really think that's just a OD, man. OD.
Dude, by looking at it, I can tell you that it looks like cowhide leather. Okay. Looking at it, it's probably a 1 or 2 ounce leather, which means about as thick as your wallet, a leather
Okay.
wallet.
Yeah.
And the stitching is probably about 3 millimeters, which means it's done on a sewing machine. Strong stitching is done by hand, by the way it's stitched,
Yeah.
but this is done on a sewing machine because it's mass produced. And this
Yeah.
isn't a big deal. It's essentially a keychain with a fucking pocket.
A keychain with a pocket for $500, almost $500, chat.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Um,
So yeah, AirTags is here. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one for my keys. I always lose my keys, so I'm definitely going to get one. I like this device. I think it's amazing. I like the design. I like how you can actually customize it. You can add like an emoji to it or something special on it, like letters or something. So
what
I
I like
definitely
about it is replaceable batteries.
replace. That's what I forgot too. Yes, because
Using
tiles,
replaceable batteries.
on tiles, when your battery dies, you got to buy a whole new tile.
Mhm.
That's it. But with AirTags, you just buy a new battery. I mean, I'm pretty sure the battery's like super cheap, probably too.
It's a watch battery. You can buy them at CVS for like I think it's like $3, $4.
Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I mean, AirTags is finally here. It was the world's worst kept secret because, like you said, we knew about it for like 2 years, so it was
Yep.
almost kind of expected to happen. So I wasn't really too blown out of the water by it. The next thing I want to jump into, the iMac. What did you think of the
Yes.
design? What do you think of this bad boy?
I have plus and minuses for the design. Um, the plus, beautiful colors in the back, very muted up front. What I did like about it, the front is one side piece of that's awesome, but it still has the chin. Like, why can't you just hide
I
that
know.
behind so it just looks like a monitor? And if you're gonna have the chin, why no Apple logo?
I think they got rid of the Apple logo to kind of keep it more clean, which I guess is cool. I think the reason why they kept the chin is because maybe it has something to do with the actual monitor. If they was to put like all of the guts behind the monitor, maybe the cooling wouldn't. Like, I have a feeling that they did it for a reason.
Yeah,
Like
here's the reason.
they do, yeah,
They
like
can
they would have had to have done that for a reason, because a lot of
they
people have
can
been complaining about
brag.
the chin.
They can brag it's the thinnest desktop on the market.
Yeah,
One. It's so okay. Let me give you an idea how thin it is. It is 11 millimeters thick. Your headphone jack for your phone, with the 3 pieces,
yeah.
is 13 millimeters thick. So that is too long
Oh
to
yeah,
be
it
put
can't even
into the
go in
iMac.
there.
So they put the
Wow.
headphone jack on the side.
That's
So
crazy.
they kind of wanted that extra big iPad look, but then they had to put the gut somewhere. But because the M1 is a chip, that motherboard is this.
Yeah, super small, super small. I mean, I like the fact. I mean, I've never owned an iMac. I think it's
Really?
cool. Yeah, I've never owned an iMac. That's probably like one of the only things from the Apple library that I've never owned was the iMac. They were always just super expensive, and I was the kind of person that never really had the money for it, you know. So they were just always
Well,
super expensive.
I'm going to put it to your perspective. The M1 Mac Mini, the most affordable M1 Mac you can, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you buy the Touch ID keyboard, the new mouse, the same quality screen, a webcam, speakers, and a good mic, you're going to wind up spending almost double the amount of money than you would if you would have bought an iMac.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. That's why I've never owned one. Lisa J in chat says she have and she loved it. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty good desktop for a lot of people. And they brought out they brought up the whole fact that the sound quality is better, the camera is better. I know the camera has been horrible on the iMac for so long. Now they're actually getting a 1080p camera. Um, I think it's all right. I mean, I'm not an iMac person. I probably never will be. But for whoever loves it, I'm pretty sure you know you guys have great options now as far as colors. So it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. All right. So what else did we get out? We got the iPad Pro, new iPad Pro. That was also rumored for a while. That we were getting that. I didn't think we were gonna get it. I actually thought we were gonna get another MacBook before we got an iPad. But
Oh no, I knew the iPad would be one of the things they would upgrade, but I never thought it would be the way it is. But
XDR, man. All right, I'll let you break down the iPad Pro for
before
us.
we start on the iPad, like the
Okay.
specs, how great it is, how wonderful it is, blah 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 blah. Let's talk about price. A maxed out iPad Pro with the M1 chip, with a 12.9 screen, space gray, 2 terabytes of hard drive, Wi-Fi and cellular. M1 chip is $2,399.
Oof. That's basically a laptop. That's
Oh,
a top of the line
wait.
laptop.
Put this in perspective for you again. Okay, a MacBook Pro 13-inch, so it's bigger than your iPad. Okay,
Yeah.
with the M1 chip with 16 gigs of RAM, just like the iPad, 2 terabytes of storage, just like the iPad, uh, two Thunderbolt ports as opposed to one on the iPad. Again, 2 terabytes of storage is 2,299.
So it's a
So
little cheaper than
it's
getting an
$100
actual.
cheaper. Both
Yeah.
machines maxed out. Very rarely are you going to find someone who is going to look for the maxed out iPad Pro. But with that being said, you now have something that's unique in the computer world, a tablet with the power of a desktop. You do not see that anywhere. Is there
Yeah.
any Android device that comes close? Any Windows device that comes close? No,
Definitely
nobody.
not. Definitely not.
So now you're talking about the exact same workflow, same work I can do on my M1 Mac, on my I don't have one, but I'm just saying, on my M1 laptop, I now can do on my iPad. So now, if I have to travel to California, let's say, and I got to edit something,
Yeah.
right? Guess what? I'm now editing with the power of a desktop on a small screen that I can take with me, that I can now do everything. I need to mix 100 tracks, 80 tracks, no problem. I can do it right on my iPad without having crashing, without having to worry about not having the processing power, without having to worry about anything. That is a game changer for creatives. Huge game changer. The screen alone. Now we're talking the $10,000 Apple display is now in your iPad. As a matter of fact, the iPad
Yes.
display is better than the Pro display.
Yeah. Probably
Think
also
about
because it's smaller. It's smaller
it.
too.
It's smaller.
and LED, XDR, Thunderbolt on an iPad. That's mind blowing. Freaking Thunderbolt,
Okay,
oh my
for
god,
people who don't understand how mind blowing that is, you can now edit 6K video on your iPad, raw with zero delay,
that's
zero.
insane. So, all right, so I have a question for you because I'm 100% getting a Mac Mini. That's without a doubt. But I've been kind of stuck between should I get a MacBook? Should I just get a big, should I get the iPad Pro? But with the iPad Pro, the new one, is it even worth buying a MacBook anymore? Now, mind you, I do edit in DaVinci. I don't think DaVinci's on the iPad.
No,
I don't
you
think
have to
it is.
go with LumaFusion to edit on the iPad. It honestly depends on workflow. If you're okay with learning a new, okay, here are the bonuses. Photoshop, you can use on your iPad. Affinity Photo, you can use on your iPad. Lightroom, you can use on your iPad. Audio on an iPad Pro sucks. Sucks.
Really?
There's
On the
no
Pro?
real
Really?
good software for music on the iPad Pro. You have synthesizers, you have processors, but honestly, on an iPad Pro, your powerhouse music software is GarageBand. And
And
GarageBand works better on your iPad Pro than it.
see, that's where I'm a little stuck because most of my work that I do is in Logic and in DaVinci. And my thing is, I want to be able to have one or the other, like laptop, the MacBook, or the iPad, because I like to edit. Like, I don't want to always be at my desk. Sometimes I want to sit on my couch. I want to sit in my bed. So that's why I want to get one or the other. I don't really see a need for me getting both of them. I just think it's kind of pointless for me. But so I feel like maybe if that's the case, if you're saying audio is not that great on the iPad, even though the iPad Pro looks amazing, I feel like maybe I should probably just go for the MacBook then, if that's the case.
Do you remember the tracks that I sent you for our album that you listened
Yeah,
to?
yeah,
All done on iPad. All of them.
okay,
How incredibly gorgeous does that sound?
yeah. It came out good actually. It was good.
But the problem is, I'm stuck in the GarageBand software.
Yeah,
Even though I do have other software processors, I have another software queue and things like that on the iPad, and they all work wonderful, but it isn't pro level audio production. Until you get the pro level audio production, I personally don't feel that the iPad Pro is worth it. Um, because yeah, you can edit video on it. Yeah, you can edit photos on it. Yeah, you can trim audio on there. Yeah, you can create a rough track on GarageBand, but if it's worth it if you have a desktop at home, you can create something in GarageBand on your iPad, logic up your GarageBand file, and then you can move on forward with it.
yeah,
For you, it may not. And here's the thing: like I draw on my iPad, so for me, you know, a desktop powerhouse where I can draw and edit photos, occasionally work on music and edit video. That's not bad for me. Would it be my main machine? Absolutely not. You might be better off with a laptop.
yeah. I feel like I'm kind of leading to it because part of me was like, man, I would like to get one, like one of the iPad Pros, but part of me would just be getting it just because it's beautiful, not because of like, all right, this fits in my workflow. I feel like if I was to get an iPad, I would just get like the iPad mini, just for like, some media consumption, a few like maybe added to my workflow here and there. But as far as like mobile production, I feel like the laptop probably would be better. So what else did we get? We got a purple iPhone, nothing too fancy about that. Purple iPhone. We got a trailer for Ted Lasso season 2. It's kind of funny. I was just talking about season 1 last episode.
You know what?
Uh
After that trailer, I think I actually might season one.
really?
Yeah, that trailer kind of hooked me. I was like, damn it, I've been trying to.
Yeah. Dude's like, Keith, just tell me about this damn thing. And now here we go. Season 2 is already up here coming up.
Yeah,
So yeah, Ted Lasso was good. It was a sleeper for me. I mean, I heard a lot of good things about it. I just kept putting it on the back burner, and then when I watched it, I was like, why the hell did I not watch this months ago? This is so good. Such a good show. You should definitely check it out. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the Apple event in a nutshell. Did I miss anything? I think that's
Um,
everything.
well, Apple TV. You know, talk about Apple TV. Um,
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Apple TV.
my problem with Apple TV is the price point, man. It's $150.
Here's my question. I've never owned an Apple TV. What is the point of getting an Apple TV if you already have a smart TV? And now smart TVs have the Apple TV app on it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have a
Okay.
smart TV, and the software on it sucks.
Yeah, it does. I will say
Uh,
that it does.
and you can't really upgrade it. It's not always available for upgrades. I bought a well, my girl bought a Fire Stick. Okay,
Okay.
because like she loves the Google environment, and I'm just and whatever prefer an Apple TV. But
Yeah.
I hooked up the Fire Stick, and I kind of had to fucking eat my words. Because, holy shit, is that fucking thing amazing?
Really?
Holy shit, is that thing amazing, bro? I'm gonna return my cable box. There's no need for a cable box, bro. We have Okay, these are all the services we have: Netflix, Hulu, Discovery Plus, Amazon Prime. What else do we have? Boomerang, the Cartoon Network one.
Oh yeah.
Peacock, Tubi, Pluto. What's the other? Damn it! I know I'm forgetting one.
Peacock? No, you said
I said
Peacock
Peacock.
already, right? Okay.
Something else. There's another one. Okay, that we pay for, and all those services combined is still just the cable part of my bill, not my internet part. Just the cable part of my bill. It's still less.
Yeah.
Um, and the quality is better than coming from my cable.
Wow.
And the remote, you can speak to it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you can speak into
No,
it. I'm
on the Apple one and on the Fire Stick, but the Apple one is actually much nicer looking. Um, and it uses the little click wheel like the old
Yeah,
original iPods.
I
I was
did
like, the
I did
iPods
like
are
that
back,
touch.
baby.
I like that touch. That was actually pretty nice, honestly.
Um,
So
so the reason why an Apple device is so good is because it's upgradable. You know, you can now get all your services on your Apple TV, upgradable, and you don't have to worry about being stuck with software that was made 10 years ago, put on your 3-year-old TV, and you fucking hate it. Like YouTube on my smart TV is the most painful thing to watch.
yeah.
Amazon Prime is the most painful thing to watch on my smart TV. But on the Fire Stick, oh my god, what a dream! It's smooth, and on Apple TV, it's even smoother.
Really?
But the price point is $150, and that's what sets me back. And the Fire Stick literally plugs into my HDMI port, and I don't see it. But the Apple TV is a little box that I gotta find a spot for.
Yeah. I mean, I never ever thought to get an Apple TV, and then when I saw that they had it at this event, I was curious. I was like, man, like, should I finally give the Apple TV a try? I mean, we're getting 4K HDR, 60. It's also going to allow you to calibrate your TV with just your iPhone, which I think is freaking awesome.
Well,
Um,
yes and no. Okay, when you calibrate your TV with your phone for an Apple TV, you're not exactly adjusting television. What your phone is doing is talking to your Apple TV, adjusting the signal coming out of the Apple TV to uh, to make it look better on your TV. So it's not quite adjusting your TV; it's adjusting its own signal.
yeah, sure,
I
sure,
just found
sure.
that out today.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what it was going to be about. I figured it wasn't going to like adjust your like whole TV settings because I think that'll just be a little invasive.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
here are the 2 or 3 things about the remote people don't know. One, previous Apple TVs was a pain in the butt to shut off your TV and mute your TV from the old remote. It was
wow,
terrible. Two, that the remote your new Apple TV remote, you can buy it now for your old Apple TV. So you don't have to buy your new Apple TV.
interesting. You can buy that separately?
But
I didn't know that.
yeah, you can buy it separately, but Apple didn't talk about it. I'm searching on the site. Ta-da! You can find it.
Oh wow, I figured you just have to get whatever remote just came with the box. I didn't think you can
No,
switch out your Apple TV remote. That's pretty interesting.
no. And the thing that kind of upset me about the new Apple TV is It is essentially has an iPhone 10XR processor.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same processor as a 2018 iPad Pro.
Okay. But you're still getting good quality picture though.
Oh, you're getting great quality picture. But now my thing is, why didn't you go for the current generation of iPad processor so you can kind of future proof that a little bit? Because the problem with the last model of Apple TV, after 4 years, you're like, nothing's quite as clean, nothing's quite as crisp, because shows are coming out with more bandwidth hungry because they're better quality.
And that's what I was a little worried about with the iPad, with the Apple TV thing, is that like I feel like if I got it over time, I'm gonna see the age of it, and I'm gonna be like, this thing's like not even worth it anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
again, the thing about the Fire Stick, and again, I'm more of an Apple fanboy than anything else. But the thing about the Fire Stick is it's $50. 3 or 4 years. Yeah, fuck it. I'll get rid of this one. Give the old one to my grandmother.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah. Overall, I think the Apple event was good. One thing I have to mention that's not really anything product related is that the Apple events, production wise, are just so interesting. Like they're like just their shots that they take. The whole thing with Tim Cook performing a Mission Impossible scene just to take the M1 chip out of the laptop and putting it into the iPad was kind of funny. But
That threw
like,
me off though. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I know, I was like, what's happening? But they're produced very well. Like they're getting better with the digital events, and I'm wondering, like, man, like going back to a live event is gonna probably take away some of that production that they're doing right now because people are probably really enjoying it. I'm excited about the new Apple products. I'm definitely getting an AirTag. That's probably the only thing I'm gonna get out of most of this stuff from the event is the AirTags. Maybe the Apple TV. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, Los, do you have any recommendations you want to leave with the people before we get out of here today?
Couple things. I'm going to start with
Okay.
Apple. Get an M1 Apple processor. Holy shit, is that fucking bro? My workflow is so much better. What's held me back is the little pieces of software here and there, but the Mac, Adobe isn't in the M1 Mac, but Affinity Photo is already native to the M1 chip.
Yeah.
Uh, Logic is, I think, is native. I have to look it up.
Okay.
GarageBand is native. It is a nicer machine. It is a nicer work. To give you an idea of how fast it is, remember when your brand new iPhone was brand new and before you loaded it up with crap and how fast it was?
Yeah.
Remember that? That's what your M1 Mac is.
Oh man.
All right. It's just fast and it works. One. Uh Two. Okay. Um I just want to say thank you, Marvel, for actually understanding the world isn't made of one color, it's made of several colors. And thank you for showing little boys and girls that they too can be heroes, that they too can see themselves on screen, and that they too can have those dreams of I want to be Black Panther, I want to be, I want to be Captain America, I want to be the other thing, Thank you, Marvel, for thinking about the world in multiple colors, not just one.
Exactly. That's actually,
Uh,
yes, is pretty dope.
yeah, it really is.
My recommendation is a show called Good Trouble on Freeform, also on Hulu. It's pretty much about two girls who grew up in a foster home. They moved to California to after college, basically, and to like live their life. And the show is about a bunch of different stories, basically. It's pretty much oh crap, hold on, chat. It's pretty much about just a bunch of different stories of people from different backgrounds, different nationalities. They live in like a coterie home. I think that's what it was called, basically. And it's just a lot of drama, but it's such a good show. It touched bases on a lot of different topics and the whole Black Lives Matter movement. The Black Lives Matter movement is one of the big topics on this show. And just feminism and just gay rights, like literally every topic that you can possibly think of is actually in this show. It's a really good show. I think there's like 4 seasons and I've been binging it. It's usually not a show that I would watch, but it's so good. It's just really good. I would definitely say check it out. This is Good Trouble. Like I said, it's on Freeform. It's on Hulu. I think there's a topic in this show that almost everybody can relate to, whether you're black, Latino, white, Asian. You have an Asian in this show who's dealing with the trouble of being taken serious as an Asian comedian and as a gay comedian who's Asian. Like it's just such a good show. Definitely check it out. It's worth it.
A gay Asian comedian. I don't think I've heard of a gay Asian comedian.
Exactly. That's why I said there's so many different cultures and just different topics that they touch base on. Like just that just makes it a good show alone, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, that is going to be it for today, JHouze Radio episode 40. Much appreciate everybody checking us out today on YouTube. We're gonna probably start doing more of our podcast live on YouTube as well as being available for on demand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, we're gonna start doing little clips here and there. Some might be original clips where we log on a random day and talk about a random topic for 5 minutes or stupid jokes. But a lot are going to be little excerpts from the podcast. So you guys can get a chance to kind of get an idea what the podcast is about, see the flavor of our topics, kind of see the interactions between with us. Although I was a good boy today, Mom was watching
just this time. Next time, I cannot tame him, chat. I can't tame him.
Yeah, no. Because I'm an idiot and I like to spread jokes. But yeah, the channel is going to grow. It's going to expand. We're looking to do a couple of different things here and there. Like Kate was saying earlier, we're still going to do some, we're still going to play games and do, we're doing live streaming games and things like that. But we're more into conversations and little things. I'm looking into possibly doing some YouTube shorts, but I'm trying to figure out what can I talk about or do that's interesting, because that's one of the weird things. Like, I want to do an episode on conspiracy. Like, what's your favorite psycho conspiracy theory? And like, because I love watching these crazy people talk about conspiracy. I'm like, you are nuts. Like, I really love these conspiracy stuff. I just find it funny, like the guy, aliens. The crazier he gets, the bigger his hair gets.
Or Sasquatch, all that crap.
Yeah. And again, keep watching the channel because we're looking to bring more entertainment your way, whether it be 1 minute or an hour and a half during a podcast. We just kind of want to get you guys engaged, talking with us, interacting with us, asking questions, even if it's embarrassing. Hey, I don't mind telling embarrassing stories. I got plenty of them. Kate can tell you I got embarrassing stories.
I would definitely advise, like I said before, hashtag JHouze Pod on Twitter. Ask Los a crazy question just so we can hear it on the podcast.
Once again, as always, thank you very much for listening, watching, supporting. Don't forget we have a Patreon page, which KJ, do you have it linked?
Yeah, that's gonna be in the link below of the audio version or replay of this podcast.
Yes. Anything to help us out, even if it's $1, it helps us forward. I know this kind of looks like we just jump on and talk, but we actually sit there and spend hours and time researching things like that. I didn't just learn all this Apple stuff in 1 minute or another. I actually. And as always, thank you very much for listening. And if you have a chance, rate us 5 stars. You can on whatever platform you listen to our podcast. It helps get more eyeballs and ears on us and get more people watching and listening and expand our audience and talk about broader topics and things you actually guys might be even more interested in. Or you guys can just ask us embarrassing questions and we'll answer them. At least I will.
Ask Los.
Thank you much for all the love, support. May life bring you nothing but happiness, joy. May all your ups and downs be in the bedroom. And may your best day today be your worst day tomorrow.
I like how you did that. That's pretty awesome. And that's JHouze Radio, episode 40, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Catch you guys later.